So I'm sure that this will make difference, and this will double the green cover of India, because green cover of India is not enough, and no doubt it is increased in last 2-3 years, but it's not enough. So I'm sure that the degree with the tree will increase the green cover of India. And thank you so much for making presentation. Now we have a next speaker, Dr. T.B. Ramachandra, is Associate Faculty, Center of Sustainable Technology, ASTRA, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So Indian Institute of Science is the highest seat of science in India. So this institute is inspiring or aspiring many young people to use science as a career and to use science to making difference in their lives. So Dr. Ramachandra.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and good evening to everyone. So today I'll be talking about the sustainable development and how the education plays a very crucial role in making the planet a healthy planet. So the slides are visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When we look at the sustainable development, see, one of the things is sustainable development goal 4. It ensures the inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. This is what we have been trying in India. So now, according to me, the sustainable development means ensuring clean air, water, and environment to our next generation. For that, we need to have a sustenance of natural resources with a minimal disasters. Then there would be security, survival, and peace in the system. For this, one has to do the responsible decision making. To do the responsible decision making, we need to have sensible citizens. We can have sensible citizens. For having sensible citizens, we need to enhance the environmental literacy. I'm not talking about general literacy, which may be high in the region, but when we look at the environmental literacy, it is slightly poor in most part of the globe. Now, when we look at the environmental literacy, it refers to the acquisition of environmental knowledge, which enhances environmental awareness and concern about the functional properties of natural world, as well as its associated problems. This includes understanding the life support system functions of the natural system and the environmental tipping points and their associated challenges, as well as the capacity to appreciate the intrinsic value of the nature. Now, environmental education at all levels of education would promote the lifelong learning and enhance the environmental literacy. Now, when you look at the contemporary education model, which has led to the digital addiction with human deficits in core mental, intellectual, and analytical skills in environmental aspects. Now, when we look at the environmental literacy, it empowers the humans with the acquisition of problem-solving skills and motivation to work towards making informed decisions to respect, protect, and sustain the well-being of natural system. The education for sustainable development that has promoted the education consistent with the principles of sustainable development. Now, we need to adopt a realistic environmental education model that interrelates the sociological, philosophy, ecosystem, interconnectedness, and environmental awareness with the human-nature relationship. This would help in environmental protection and inspire the human stewardship responsibility. Now, when you look at the way we teach the children, is we ask the children to learn from nature. So when I take the class, for example, if I teach a simple food chain for my graduate and the PhD student, see, when we look at the food chain, there is a material and energy transfer happens as there is a food, the generation and the synthesis of food and eaten by the next level. Now, whatever is left in the system is removed by the converted into elemental form by the biodegraders in the form of bacteria and fungi. That means when you look at the nature, there is nothing called waste. You would see the waste only where humans exist. Now, the second part of the slide, when you look at it, talks about law of conservation, the thermodynamic principle you can understand. See, all the plants are competing. They are getting their energy. They are synthesizing the food. And there is a competition. There's a law of entropy as well as optimization. Now, with this, let us understand the importance of the kind of the resources we have in the country. For example, the Western Ghats. You know, the length of Western Ghats is about 1,600 kilometers. The spatial extent is about 5% of the India's geographical area. The Western Ghats with the forms a very crucial watershed for the peninsular India, it ensures the sustenance of water. Because of the water, there's a food security. And it is also a region rich in flora and fauna. If you look at the Western Ghat latitudinal gradient, at 8 to 14 degree latitude, you have the highest number of species. So, and also it provides immunities evident from the low COVID-19 instances in this region. And also, it more importantly, in the era of global warming and changes in climate, it sequesters the carbon. So now we need to maintain the integrity of this ecosystem. For that, one need to manage the ecosystem wherein you have to maintain the physical and chemical integrity. Then only you can have the biological integrity. Now, when there is a damage to the ecosystem, when there's a degradation, what happens? Let us understand. These are the photographs during my lifetime. When I was a student, there was a water in the location, but in the same location, same month, there is no water. So to understand this, let us go to a river basin where the dam was constructed in 1965 at this location. So when you look at this region, 1965, the dam was constructed. Now, if you want to see whether it has impacted the rainfall, let us look at the rainfall data of last 120 years. See, when you see the data and divide into two time period, 1901 to 1965 and 1965 to today, you see during 1901 to 1965, this entire region was receiving the rainfall of 3,000 to 4,500. Now, this portion continues to receive 3,004 to 4,500, while this portion receives 1,700 to 1,900 millimeter. Now, when I try to understand what are the causal factor, in spite the region is the same topography, the land cover plays a decisive role. Wherever vegetation is there, you see that vegetation, native forest, you see that the rainfall has not changed. Wherever it's converted to agricultural land or they converted to barren area, we see the decline in the rainfall. Now, let us understand this further. Let us go to the each sub-basin and find out what is the extent of forest cover in each sub-basin and the rainfall. So we have divided this into 9 sub-basins. These are the sub-basins on the east and these are sub-basins in the west. Now, when you do this, on the east, if you see that forest cover is 30%, rainfall is 1,776. While on the western side, you see the forest cover is 65% and rainfall is 4,800. It establishes the relationship between the rainfall and the forest. Now, more importantly, how long the water is available, we try to analyze by monitoring these streams for 36 months, the select streams for 36 months, because we wanted to see the seasonal variability as well as year-to-year variability. We have graded the streams as A, B, C, D. A are the stream carry the water for 12 months. B are the stream carry the water for 8 months. C are the one for the 6 months and D are the one for the 4 months. Now, when you look at A type of stream occur in the catchment where the vegetation cover of native species more than 55%. Where monoculture plantations are there, you see that either B or C type of streams are there. Where forest is degraded or the landscape is degraded to the forest cover less than 30%, you see that there are the water is available only during monsoon or you have D type of streams. Now, we also deployed the sensor to understand how much water gets into the underlying layer when the catchment is with the native forest. Because of the native forest or the forest or the diversity, you see that microbes in the soil is also the diverse. Because of that, soil become porous or permeable. It allows the water to percolate and it fills this zone and then it fills this vadose zone. Then only you will see the water flowing in the streams or river. That means there's enough infiltration happens. You have rain, because of that you have water for 4 months. Then during the post-monsoon, the water in this region moves to the river or lake for the next 4 months. Then during summer, the water in this region moves laterally towards the river or lake for the next 4 months. This is evident from this catchment. You see that wherever forests are there, infiltration is higher. Wherever forests are degraded, you see the infiltration is minimal. Now, wherever infiltration has happened, you see that it meets the requirement of the society. Finally, the society requires the water for the livelihood. We see in the form of agriculture, horticulture, livestock, and domestic purposes. In this region, there is no scarcity of water, in spite of people growing multiple crops and the cash crop. Whereas in this region, because of degraded landscape, there is not enough water. This is evident from this one. You see, this is a region where 12 months water is available. Here, the 8 months, and this is a yellow one are 6 months, and these are 4 months. When you look at the vegetation cover, wherever the forests or native species are there, you have the water for the 12 months. Now, this also has reflected in the livelihood of the people. In this region, if the farmers earn 1,54,000 rupees per acre per year, in this region, people earn only 32,000 rupees per acre per year. Because in this region, since the water is available throughout the year, they can grow the multiple crops and they can grow the cash crop, where here they can grow only one crop. And more importantly, in this region, because of the native vegetation, the diversity of pollinators is higher. Because of that, yield of the crop is much higher than the yield in this region for the same crop. This establishes that if we want to provide water and the food security to our children, we need to ensure the integrity of the ecosystem. Now, let us try to understand the other aspect of biodiversity. You see that this gives the occurrence of the various taxa that shows that wherever water is available 12 months, these four-legged animal exist. Whereas where water is not there, I see only the two-legged animal there. Now, we have described two new species of fish in this region, which establishes the linkage between the aquatic biodiversity with the terrestrial biodiversity. Now, to understand the implication of global warming and changes in climate, one of the things is going to happen is the scarcity of water. Now, what will happen to the frog, the animals like frog, which depends on the water for the tadpole stage. Now, for example, this particular species of frog, Philetus leucorhinus, after fertilization of the egg, has bypassed the tadpole stage to get over the scarcity of water in this region. Now, we understood this. We brought this fertilized egg to the lab. We monitored and we saw the 14-day, the younger ones emerging out. Now, with the changes with the global warming, there are changes in climate is happening. With the changes in climate, we are going to pay the heavy price. That is because if there is no water, no human species can exist on the globe. So only these kind of organisms, they know how to get adapted to a situation. They will survive on the earth. That's where we need to protect the mother nature. So now let us see what is the kind of mistake we are doing. This is of Bangalore. Bangalore is 740 square kilometer. You can see the remote sensing data gives the idea of the landscape dynamic. In 1973, 68% of the green cover with the vegetation. The 7% is red, the building. The blue is the water body, yellow is the open spaces. Then you see that 2021, you can see that the buildings have come 81% and the vegetation cover is less than the 3%. Then there has been a 1055% increase in the built-up area. We have lost 88% vegetation and 79% of water body. Now in Bangalore, as Professor Sahu was talking about, the number of trees per person, if you look at it, for every 7%, there is one tree. The number of trees what we require per person is about 7 to 8, because each one of us, when we breathe, we give out a carbon dioxide to an extent of 540 to 980 grams. And 1 hectare of trees takes away about 8 to 9 tons of carbon every year. By that ratio, for every human, there should have been 7 to 8 trees. But what we have in Bangalore is 7% one tree. That means that's where I have been telling that this is not acceptable. Enough is enough. We need to decongest Bangalore. We have the problem of water contamination and the kidney failures and cancer is increasing in the city. Now, what can be done? What is the solution? The first one thing is we need to do the wastewater treatment, the principle of reuse, recycle of wastewater. We should do the rainwater harvesting. Then the third aspect we have been talking is the mini forest in each ward or in each village. And more importantly, we need to sensitize the youth with and enhance the environmental literacy through the environmental education. The sensible youth, when youth become sensible, they are responsible. When they are responsible, they take the optimal decision so that we can ensure the sustainability in the region. So now, if you look at the Bangalore of 740 square kilometer, the Bangaloreans requires about 18 TMC of water. If we harvest the rainwater, the Bangalore receives about 700 to 850 millimeter. We have 15 TMC of water. That means 70% of the water is available in the form of rainwater. Now, to harvest the rainwater, we have the lakes. There are 193 lakes which are created by our elders, taking into advantage the undulating terrain with the interconnected lake system. That is what we need to do it. And the second thing is we need to do the wastewater treatment. I have deployed this technology, constructed wetland and algal pond way back in 2009. This is one of the success model that is working in Bangalore for the last 10 years. This report is available online, which shows that it removes the chemical ion as well as the nutrient. Now, for this model to work throughout the country, I have a 5R formula. First R is a responsible citizen. When people are responsible, they will rejuvenate the lake so that we can retain the rainwater. So, and also we can reuse, recycle the wastewater. That means we will have 15 TMC of water because of the rainwater harvesting. then 18 TMC of wastewater. When we treat, we get a 16 TMC of water. That means 31 TMC of water is available in a region where the demand is 18 TMC. That means we have a surplus situation. That is possible only when we have a responsible citizens. Now, the job what we have done in various part of Karnataka and India, if you look at, this is the water body we have created in the campus way back in 2008, which stores 10 lakh liters of water. This has become a good experimental lab for my student working on biofuel. Not only students are happy, even I have the organism like otter in Bangalore. At one end, I say the Bangalore is dying. Other end, I have the OSS where this kind of organisms are there with the biodiversity. You can see the algae, the zooplankton, fish, etc. So the hypothesis is give back to the nature what you consume, the 10 times of that. So for example, I stay on the campus. My family requires 1.5 lakh liters of water every year. We are giving back 10 times that water, 10 lakh liters of water through this lake. Similarly, wherever I have met people, motivated them to create the water bodies where there is a water scarcity in the region. I see the success of this model. The people accept this model when they are young. So this model was implemented in this region in 2016 when that region was under the drought. Now the last 3 years, there's a good rain and there's no scarcity of water in the region. And last year, there was a shortage of water in other parts of the Karnataka, but this region didn't face the water scarcity because of the lake rejuvenation, lake desilting, etc. Seeing the success of this, if you look at the youngsters have taken part in this initiative, then the similar model was implemented in a school where the CEO was instrumental in implementing this model in one of the village. Then this model here, the 25 lakh liters of water is stored. And if you see that even the catchment, the planting was done with the native species. When I visited this place in 2018, I see the greenery with the abundant water. You can see a smile on our face. The most important thing we also did is the creating a mini forest in the campus. You see it improved the groundwater table. It has improved the local ecology, helped in carbon sequestration, maintain the temperature by 2 degrees Celsius. In a 2 hectares area, 49 native species, about 500 saplings were planted way back in 90s when I was a student. Groundwater table in that region when it was dominated by Parthenium is 150 feet. Today, the region gives a glimpse of the rainforest. And we have the groundwater at 5 to 10 feet and temperature 2 degrees lower. And you have a variety of the fauna like slender lories and varieties of snakes in the region. So then the most important weapon is the sensitize the youngsters with the environmental knowledge. I have a network of institutions in Karnataka. Then we do the capacity building, the Lake Symposium, once in 2 years, popularly known as Lake Symposium. And we conduct a program called Know Your Ecosystem. We have conducted about 39 sessions through the thing. That's where we do the capacity building. Lake Symposium, the 12 events we have done. Yes, another 1 minute I will learn. Yeah. Then we also do the capacity building for the people working in industries. This is a 19th session we have conducted. So now these are the simple experiments that kids do, either the carbon sequestration or the lake monitoring. The kids come to the institute, they use the facility. And also similarly, we do the biodiversity mapping at the local level, involving the rural children. So these are the rural children. The people who are interested in our can go through this portal. So when you access our portal, it looks like this. All our publications are available online. The work what we have done the way back in 2009-10, the country solar program is now dependent on that. Now my students are working on biofuel. When I look at the country landscape, we have 65% youth and abundant solar energy and biofuel. If we harvest this, we will have a sustainable energy. And if we can manage the forest, we will have enough water. So that is the sustainability I'm talking about. So if you are doing a good job, the success is because of these youngsters. When the youngsters do a good job, when they become sensible, they keep everyone happy. Thank you very much.
Sorry, my audio. Scientific presentation, and it was a good solution for the sustainability. And you have connected ecology with economy. I believe that yes, the comfort for mankind is discomfort for Mother Nature. So wish that the desire of maximum comfort will be impacting maximum on Mother Nature, and the way you have provided a solution about the Bengaluru and other part of the South India, and then the solution, an example, a research base, and